There's a phone ringing, and Catherine tells her to hide from attack. She says there's nothing there, the call cuts, and she is witnessing a thick layer surrounding the earth and some sky. She runs into the jungle, and into a sewage maybe. She stays here with her phone's torch. She gets up, moves towards the exit, sees outside, gets out of there, and climbs upwards to get back on the road. People are dead around her, and she breeze walks among them. Her breaths are gone shallow. Barely walking, she gets into the forest. On the other side, she proceeds towards a camping van. There's fresh juice and bread, eaters are dead, and one killed one is here. There's a child with her. She gets into the van, drinks water, tissues sweat, takes out a chocolate bar for energy, wears a coat, and sits here. There's a sound from behind. She gets up to it, and a boy is alive. She asks him not to be afraid of her in French. She asks his name. He's not getting her. She switches to English. He's Theo. She tells him her name. He's, of course, hungry. She brings him that bar he had hidden when monsters came. She takes him along and moves along the road to somewhere she knows. On the way, she asks him to avoid looking at the bodies. There's a machine just in front of them. They luckily run towards the snow lifts. She hides him under a seat, closes the trolley, and hides herself on the ground, watching it. The machine is here. She attracts it with a striking sound. It's coming for her. She throws the iron bar away and gets upstairs. Theo calls for her. It's not coming here, so she makes more noise and hears a bullet shot. She sits down knowing, but there's a woman here. She takes both of them along into a community building, knocks on the door and gets inside. These people have been here since after the attack. She stays with him and tries to get him to sleep. She says she's gonna look after him now. Plays cards with him, sees probably a dead wife to a husband. She's looking for some medicine. Thomas and Emma went for supplies and didn't return yet. That's why she's crying. She tells her about soldiers being at the observatory. She will bring them. She gives her a gun and a hug, and they get set on their way towards the Alps. Here at the observatory, they are here. There are no guards. She calls for Catherine. No one is here. She puts him to sleep and checks for supplies. Soldiers are here and ask her to put her hands up and ask about his soldier. Nobody was here. Catherine and she both recognize each other and embrace tightly. She tells her about people in the basement with almost over supplies. The army can help them. She tells her that only a handful of soldiers are left. There's no contact or info from anywhere, and neither the government nor the army is left. She wants her to talk to the colonel. She introduces Theo to her. She goes to bring him water. He says Sophia farts in her sleep. Kath knows it. She goes to the colonel. All their equipment and rations are gone. He's happy for her sister. She tells him about the ski resort with people stuck. He says we should go. There's nothing else to do. Let's do it. But before that, his men need some rest. She thanks him. Blackman is on watch and checks out where the firings are happening. He tells others that fighters are getting closer and the army will not care about them. Bill says his equipment is here. They have to know about them as much as they can. Blackman says they need to stay alive. Helen suggests staying for a while and will leave if they come closer. She's again on screen hearing pulsating. Gets out of there, takes coffee. Sophia is calling Theo. Catherine hasn't seen him. He's here. He wants her to play with them. Kath has work to do. She asks him to get his book and asks for any updates. She tells her about the pulsating signal. Kath admires her taking care of the kid. Sophia says birds should have stayed in Africa. She has given up on drugs. She wants to have them every moment but has given up. They watch birds outside. Sophia asks what's going on between her and the colonel. She says they do have sex now. Who knows about tomorrow? Sophia gets up to leave. In the forest, they are on a flowing water. She's still onto the picture, hides it as he comes and moves away silently. Sarah breaks the vending machine to take everything inside. Sarah thinks Jonathan might be dead now. There were several problems between them. Emily is happy to have her sight back, and Bill will only stop after knowing its reason. He's working on it while Tom is disturbing him. He asks him to stop doing this childish thing and says his father should have yelled at him, and immediately apologizes for saying it. His dad might be alive just like them. He'll be trying to get to him. Tom says it's not scientific. Bill says science goes to hell. Some things just should be accepted. He still likes Helen and says never hurt who you love. If Tom wants, he can play football with him. He leaves, and Bill gets back to work. They are on their way in classic France. He clears the house for them to find something to eat. Sasha says why don't they kill animals? He says they might be vegan. Jonathan checks his bag for a photo. Chloe asks, and he tells her that he last saw it in the mansion. Sasha says perhaps he has lost them on the way. He says he has taken them. since he was staring at it and was hiding something in the morning. John says he has taken it. He thinks so because he's a thief and shows her the stolen watch. He tells about it, says he stole it just like she stole food, and declines to take it. He asks him to tell Chloe Noah's truth, that he left him out and killed him. Both get into a quarrel argument. He leaves. Chloe has got a doubt for him. He asks if he's a murderer. She says no. He gets the hell out of here. Bill is watching Emily. He tells her about that sensor as a DNA scanner. He tells her that these aliens have bosses. He asks when she said they want to live. They have killed millions of humans, killed his son. She says we are not different from them. She keeps answering "don't know" to every question and says it's not in her control. He's still again on the photo. Crying in the corner, she starts hearing pulsating again. Stands up, the machine is here. Blackman gets here and it disappears from sight. Hugs her. Sophia tells him a story. Kath sees this and gets across Mukrani's room. Stops there, he sees her, she gets into him, and he kisses her. Helen is on her way to check on Bill. She has to do the watch. He's drunk. She thanks him for saving her. He says it was easy. He just chose one. She asks if he chose. You found Chris? He denies it at first, then admits that he wasn't letting him come. He didn't have time. He fell and passed out, and he put him in the corridor. She says he's been lying since the start. He says he did it because he loves her. She shows him the gun to stop there and leaves. At the observatory, she is touching him and thinking about something. He gets out to find her. She's hearing the pulsating. She says they're like birds. Their ship crashed when they moved the array. Birds use their cells' quantum properties to navigate in the world. Their array's frequency ruined their cells, quantum oscillations, and they crashed because they had gone blind. Whatever was burned was attached to the ship. Due to being connected at a quantum level, they can feel each other. They see through it. If they stop low-frequency waves, they will go blind. It's a hypothesis. She has to test it, and they can win. Sasha asks her why they're going to England. Things might be worse there than here. He wants to stay here, says it was never enough for her that she and he are here. She gets to check his bag. He sees Sasha coming with a weapon. He keeps an eye on him. He's coming here. Checks a book and finds the photo. He gets to him. John asks why he took that photo. Sasha says you think everything happens for a reason. He wants him to tell Chloe that Noah's story was fake, and he'll give him the photo. John says she will know it anyway. She will say she loves you, but her heart will not be the same for him. He will see it in her eyes. He hits her. Chloe gets here, and he runs away. Here at the campus, she wakes up to the pulsating and follows it. Helen is on watch. She hears a noise. She gets to the door and stands before it. Helen sees it. He hides in the forest and starts hearing the pulsating. The machine gets to her, and another gets to him. It gets closer. She touches it and sees Sasha. Helen shoots it. Emily stops her. It shoots her several times. Bill moves. All of them move too. Emily tries to save her, but it kills her anyway. The robot leaves. Bill gets here first, cries to see this. He hears Chloe's sound. They are looking for him. She sees receivers. Emily stays there. Sarah gets to her. She sees him and cries along.